Right, well, good afternoon everybody. A little bit late this evening, but as you have come up tonight. It's been a lovely morning up in the north east here, but now, as you can hear, the rain's just starting to come down. It's absolutely fantastic. It's what we've been praying for the last few months, or the last few weeks I should say. We've had no rainfall up in here in the northeast for a while, so it's absolutely wonderful out there. You can see that the plants are starting to respond already. They're jumping away. They're nice dark green. I want to start the video off tonight. What I was planning to do was to go outside and start in the brassicas, but I'm going to hold that off because I don't want to end up full of cold. So one of the main jobs I want to get done this week, I know I showed you a week or fortnight ago in one of the previous videos about stopping the chrysanths, and I just want to show you the progress. If you remember, I nipped them out at the centre bud, and of course there we are. We've got 1, 2. I've taken one off the top because it was a little bit bent over, so I've left myself with 3 lovely shoots. No doubt there'll probably be a few more come from the side shoots later on, but you can just keep on nipping them out, and that's an absolute fantastic plant. And of course this is an Alison Pierce. They're beautiful. What I like to do with these, I like to stop them on the stopping dates, but as I'm not showing this year, as I say, what I would be doing, I would just give them one stop right through to the whole lot. And of course they're all responding well. That was one I'd done a week previous to these ones, and this is one of my favourites, Max Riley. Beautiful yellow in curve, and as you can see, exactly the same again where I've stopped it there, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side shoots here off the Max Riley. Fantastic. But once again, I'll only let them go to 3. I'll let them grow on, and then once they start growing on to get a decent size, I can get my finger into them and I can just nip out the ones that I don't need. There's a few in the side axles there. I think I'll do away with 1, 2. There's 3 in that side axle there. I can do away with that 3, but rather than nip them out now and do damage to the stem, I like to wait until the shoots get a little bit bigger, so I can get in and just nip them out, pinch them out. And of course there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 on the top there, so that'll be perfect for me. That's the Max Riley, and of course another one of my old favourites, and that's a beautiful plant. And of course they're in big decent sized pots here, so what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to pot them up into their final pots. And this one is Liverpool Festival, which is another beautiful yellow, in curving yellow. And once again we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side shoots on that one. Once again, these bottom ones, I'll let them grow on just a little bit more, and I'll get my fingers in and I can just nip them out. The top ones, I've got 1, 2, 3 lovely big ones on the top there. I'll let them 3 grow on. If they're not what I want, or not what they require, I can always snip them out later on. As I say, I'm never in too much of a hurry to stop them, and I'm never in a hurry to pinch out the side shoots. I like to let them grow on a decent size, so I'm not going to do any damage, as I say, to the plant. Really pleased with them. So I think the first thing to do, I've got my mix made up. They're looking a little bit pale on the bottom leaves, so I'm going to do exactly the same as what I did with my tomatoes the other night, and of course the old Epsom salts. I haven't got any nettle feed ready, which I always have in the springtime for a nice light nitrogen feed. I haven't got any of that ready yet, so I'm just going to give them a little bit of Epsom salts, and that'll just give them a boost. There's plenty of feed in this mixture here. It's nice and light. This is my own mixture that I make up, and as I say, with the nitrogen feed, let them grow on, and I'll not switch to a potash feed until we see some colour in the blooms. But that's a couple of months away, that, so we'll not even think about that just at the moment. But for the time being, get my pots ready. Just a nice bucket. And what I like to do, I like to really force it in, so it's a really tight mixture, because each chrysanths love that. Once again, I can just put my pot in, see where it's lying. I want to be put another inch higher, fine. Really firm it in. Set my pot in, and that's just level with the pot. That's spot on that. I'm just going to take the marker out first. Make sure you don't lose your marker. Just hold it in your plant. Couple little squeezes. Spot on. Absolutely full of root. Nice sandy mixture. So it's got a good root ball there. Back over. Sit it in there, and that's perfect. A bit of muck around the leaves, but once I get a spray going on these and a hose, that'll sharp clean them up. And all I need to do is just top one around, and with these, as I say, the top of that pot was just level with that, so by the time you pat in around your mixture, so it's nice and firm, and once again, just leave about an inch from the top. To me, spot on. So that's one of me first chrysanths done. I have got some bamboos knocked around somewhere, and I've pulled out especially for the job. As I say, I always leave something, I always forget something. But when I got my chrysanths planted, and I like to insert some of my canes, and these are just inserted around the edge of the pot, so they're not doing any damage to the actual root plate itself. Now I like to put 3 in a pot. Right in, and to me that's spot on. Now what I can do, once I start growing, I mean, as I say, I can put a tyre around the bottom cane here, around the stem, and over to that one, and over to this one, so I'll keep it more or less central. And that's all I'll get, just that one tyre roped around here, and that for when it's outside in the pathway, and these will be going outside after they've been potted up. So if we get any winds, I'll find a space out in the garden where I can put them where they're not going to be in any danger. Hopefully along the front of the greenhouse or along one of the sheds, just so they're out of the wind. Because if you don't get any windy spots, you're going to damage the new shoots, and that's what you don't want. Once you start growing up, the idea of having the 3 canes in, once, as I say, I flower mine 3 up, I'll attach that side shoot to this one, that side shoot to that, and that side shoot to that, and just let them grow up, and they'll just be loosely tied in around these 3 canes. Once they grow up, and then as I say, they'll be down on the deck, and hopefully we'll get a lovely first cast bloom out of them. They are really great to grow chrysanths. As I say, if you don't want to go to all this trouble of showing and that, they're an easy plant to grow in the garden, absolutely fantastic. You get some lovely colours from them, and as I say, I love them. But the one thing I mustn't forget, of course, is the marker. Get that back in, else in place. What I normally do is, once I've got all these tied up and got the first ropes on, I'll do exactly the same as what I did with my tomatoes. I'll tie a marker to the top of the cane, once again mark it, else in place. So if the bottom one goes adrift, you've always got one up ahead telling you what it is. So that's my chrysanths out of the way. That's the first of them anyway. As I say, I've got about 16 to do, so I'll just be taking my time with them, work my way through them. Now the dahlias, once again the big show dahlias, I'm going to be putting some of these up, and I'm going to use exactly the same mix. Now the pot that the chrysanths come out of, the dahlias can go into there. Once again, I haven't been too fussed about getting my plants ready, because as I say, I'm not showing this yet, so I haven't been in too much of a hurry. So this one is a lovely one. It's the Amy Cave. Now if you think it's a little bit long, the plant, now if you start running like me, if you run out of cuttings, I haven't got enough cuttings really to put on for show. So what I'll be doing here is I'll be taking another cutting from there, and I'll be cutting off this main stem here, exactly the same as what I did with the chrysanthemum. It's just like stopping them. I'll be cutting off this main stem here where them 2 main branches are, and that little piece here, cut off there on a slant, take these 2 bottom leaves off, and you've got a perfect cutting. Just insert that in a pot. I've got some over here. cuttings that I took a couple of weeks ago, and they're all there. They've been in a couple of weeks now, so they'll not be long in rooting. What I'll do with these, and of course these are the larger ones of marigold, they're absolutely monsters, big plate-sized dahlias, fantastic. What I'll do with these, I know a lot of you say you haven't got enough room to grow big show dahlias and big tubers, but what I'll do with these, I'll grow them on, I'll root them, but I'll put them in a small pot that might just end up with something like that, about that size. And what we'll do, we'll grow them on, we'll let them flower, and we'll get a root, we'll get a pot tube out of them, which is, as I say, once these cuttings are rooted, I'll put them up into the normal small pots, little 6 or 7 inch diameter, or even the little square ones, like I've got in here, just a little square one. I'll put the cuttings off into them, and once, like this, once it's rooted, yeah, it's perfect, that. Lovely little root on there. Once they're rooted, they'll go into this pot here, full pot, and then they'll just sit out in the garden, nothing else, on a tray with some paper, some plastic and some paper, so it can water from underneath. Nice free draining compost again, with a bit of manure mixed in with it. That'll be sitting there, and then they'll just be left in there all summer. And hopefully at the end of the year, what will happen is you can take a pot out, and you can sit the pot on the side. Once it's died back, once the frost hit it and it's died back, you can sit a pot on the side, and what you'll have the tuber inside, and hopefully by next year you'll have a nice small tuber that's just been grown in that pot. It'll be pot bound, because it hasn't got the room to grow. If you stick them in the garden, they get monsters, massive tubers. But growing them this way in a pot, you'll just get a nice sized tuber that you can take out, you can put in your pots, you can put in your heat bed, or if you've got a small greenhouse, you can put them under there, set them on a little bit of heat in March, and you get some fantastic cuttings. Or you can just leave them in the shed, as long as they're frost free, and bring them out March and April, and they've got a bit of growth on them, to plant it out in May. As I say, I'm never in a hurry with my dahlias. Usually second week of June, we're up here in the northeast, because it can still get pretty chilly. But once again, it's going to be a nice potted mix here. I'll sit that in, a little bit more in there, just so it comes level with it. And that, to me, quite happy with that. Put that up. And that's my dahlia started. I like to put a nice, heavy potting, so they're not moving around whatsoever. If there's any wind, they haven't got a chance to blow around in the wind and start rocking, because that's the first thing you don't want. Then again with them, all they'll get is a split cane, in there, just a wee tire on there, and that's spot on. As I say, this pot here will come out if I need more tubers. I can cut this pot out and root that. So what will happen with this plant here, it'll just send more shoots out from the bottom, exactly the same as what the chrysanths done. And you're getting another cutting there, so instead of having one plant, you've got 2 plants. Or you've got two tubers for next year. But that's the whole idea of cuttings. I know people will be saying, oh, he loves chopping the heads off plants and cutting this and cutting that, but yeah, it's all about increasing your stock and just looking after your plants. As I say, the other dahlias I've got in the bottom tunnel, or just the bedding dahlias, but they're just for in the garden for planting out. Well, they're exactly the same. A lot of them have got double heads on. And all I'll be doing is going around and just nipping the head out. I'll not do this one because I've only got, this is Jamal Amy, and this is another beautiful big one. I've only got 2 of them. So what I'll be doing with the Jamals, once again, there's a head. I'll cut the head from there, across there, where there's a couple of little side shoots coming out there. I'll cut that head off there, and that I'll use for a cutting. And then instead of having 2, I'll probably have 4 overwintering tubers to go into the winter, in case I do lose any, which it can happen, but that's the way we'll do it. But that's the dahlias and the chrysanths for the time being. That's them sorted. I'll finish potting off most of the chrysanths tonight, and then if it dries out tomorrow, we'll get started on these brassicas. I've got a few little tips for anybody that's got club root in the garden. As you see, I love the rhubarb mate, but I'll get a few rhubarb leaves a night, slide them out in the greenhouse, let them sweat a little bit, and I'll show you some handy little tips. If you have got club root, it's quite easy to fight against it. So we'll do all that tomorrow and finish the video off with that. I've got tomatoes to water because they're looking a little bit dry today. I'm going to give them a good watering around them, not on them. That'll pick them up. As I say, they're growing great at the moment, so I'm over the moon. And then maybe towards the end of the week I'll finish this video off when we'll start planting more squashes or pumpkins and some more cucumbers. Okay, so I'll see you on the plot in the morning. Bye. Right, well, good afternoon everybody. Once again, I can't see the sunny northeast because it's absolutely pouring down, and it's absolutely lovely. I love the nice little bit of rain this time of the year. I've just started putting some meat plants out. As you can see over the far end, all the tables and that's full of the summer bedding. Most of that's been put outside. The rhubarb is absolutely belting away. We're getting some really nice stems on there. So this is what we're going to attempt today. If I can get this camera tightened up and without shaking it too much. Nearly there. Oh, it's much better that now. Right, okay. So here we are. We're in the top greenhouse, in the 100-foot greenhouse. As I say, I've been doing a little bit of potting off this afternoon, trying to get rid of some of the summer bedding and whatnot out the road. As I say, plenty of anthuriums, and then put some of the strawberries I got from Dave Shaw that come up the other week. He brought us a couple of plants up. Absolutely fantastic. I'll definitely be taking runners from this one, and of course this one, Cinia and Colossus. The Colossus, it's not been doing too well, but there's some nice fruits on it. They're going to come up tonight. But yeah, on the whole, really nice crop. I'm looking forward to getting some first-class runners off them for this year. So I'm spinning it back round, and hopefully I'm going to get a shot from the outside there. Yeah, as I say, the rhubarb, if I can get this door open, the rhubarb has been absolutely belting away the last few days, and of course with all the heavy weather we're having. This is our big rhubarb trench here. It's absolutely marvellous. What I wanted to do tonight is to finish off tonight is to give you a few tips on the way I use rhubarb. As you know, I like to make a rhubarb juice, and as a prime example, this afternoon I've just finishing off some of the potting off. They've been outside since early lunchtime. Just come up tonight, as I say, it's just turned 6 o'clock now, and they're absolutely, I've had a little bit of a drink, a little bit of rainwater, and they're perking up absolutely fantastic. I'm really chuffed with them. As I say, they're in the new pots now. They've all been tied up their tails, so I'm quite happy just to leave them there in front of them strawberries for the time being. And as I say, I was planning on putting them into the garden, but I'm a bit short of space, and I thought these just wait, but still having the bad legs and bad back, that I'll try and get them potted up, and at least then I can stick them outside in the garden here, and I can just leave them for the time being. But as I say, this is just the start of the work on them. And what I was doing this afternoon was, of course, you know me and my rhubarb. I love the rhubarb. Maybe it's too much by the size of my belly, but yeah, the wife makes an absolutely fantastic rhubarb crumble, and I love it. But what I like to do is, when I take my fruit home, put that to one side. As I say, it's an absolutely marvellous fruit, and I always keep the leaves. And this was pulled this afternoon, so it's getting a little bit limp there now. It's exactly what I want. And if you go through your rhubarb bed, you'll always get a few smaller pieces that will never make anything decent of a crop. So little skinny pieces like that, I always pull them out, and as I say, get them all more or less the same size, and then you can just rip them off as I say, you can take them home and use them for a small pudding if you want. But I like to thin the beds down and get all the small pieces out. But once again, I'm left with a good 3, 4, 5 leaves, and these are absolutely perfect for what I want. Now the first big one, I'll take that down home and I'll boil it down. Now we look to go back on my videos, and I think it was a chrysanth one I made, and I showed you how to make the rhubarb juice. Well, it's quite easy. Boil it down, pour it over. You don't have to rip it up or anything. You can stick it in a pan of boiling water. I usually put 2 pints in a pan, boil it down, let it simmer for about 20 minutes, and then strain it off, and you get a lovely green juice. Bit of muslin cut from the butchers, or one of them kitchen towels that you get from for the kitchen. You know, just put it over a bowl, tip the juice through that, and strain it off, and you get a nice green liquid. Into that, I put it in my spray, litre spray, probably a third of it, and 2/3 water, and don't forget your soapy water. 3 or 4 good drops of washing up liquid, and then of course that spray, and I'll give the chrysanths a good spray of that tomorrow. But tonight, what I want to do before I knock off, I know it's raining, but I want to give them a good drink of Epsom salts, and that's going to really perk them up. But they've been sat in their pots for a couple of weeks now. They've a full root ball on them, but since I've put them into their pots, no doubt in the next couple of days I'll gallop away. All the nice side shoots are on the top there. I'm over the moon with them, so maybe in a week's time I'll be bringing 1 or 2 in, and we'll start a thinning down process. If there's too many shoots, I can just pull them away, get them to a nice size, get a finger and thumb in, just nip them out. But we'll get the rhubarb sprayed tonight. I'll probably make a garlic spray up tonight for the cabbages, or you can, for the early cabbages and sprouts, you can put a rhubarb spray on. But what I want to do with the smaller leaves, and I'll take you down, because I want to start putting some of the sprouts in the brassicas out. But a neat little trick with the leaves, and when we go over there, I'll show you how to pop them around your brassicas. Okay, so we'll get myself away outside. The rain's just stopped there now. It's lovely. It's giving us a little bit of chance to get outside and just do a little bit of work on the bed. Now the bed I'm going to use is over the far side, so I'll just knock off for the time being, and we'll get it. Right, well, seems like the weather's turned a little bit for the worse for us. Still, don't worry. I say I wanted to try and get some of these brassicas, get them out in the line. I know it's going to be a bit wet tonight, so I think what I'll do is I'll pop the first one in, and I'll leave the rest for Roger to do in the morning. As I say, I always like to put a good line out. I'm digging a decent hole here, and underneath the soil is still quite dry. So it just goes to show you, even in the northeast here, we really haven't had that much rain. So the rain that we're getting tonight, you know, it's a gift. It's going to, if it stays like this all night and just nice and slow and steady, we'll get a lovely shower and it'll permeate right through the soil to the roots of the plant, especially the potatoes and up there, romping away there, the main crop potatoes. We're just starting to bank them up, and they're looking really nice. I'm going to put this first one in. Now if you remember a couple of videos back, we were talking about clubroot, and the way I like to combat mine, even though I haven't got clubroot on the garden, I always like to be sure that it's not going to get it. And the best way to do that is when you transplant your seedlings into your cups, and to make sure that you get a real first-class root ball, which is on there. It's nice and firm. And what that's going to do, if the clubroot is attacked, you've got a first-class root ball. That'll not, rather than just have a tiny little plant without a root ball like you're popping in, if the clubroot attacks that, it's going to kill it straight off. But when you've got a nice big root ball like that, it takes a while to work its way through and actually get to the root itself, get to the plant itself. So you've got a better chance of it surviving when you've got a good root ball like that. And then the second one to do is, once again, here's the old rhubarb. Take the rhubarb, wilt the leaves down a little bit, and just wrap it around, nice little parcel, there you are. And what that'll do, it'll just keep any clubroot away from your cabbage until it gets established. Now I'll plant mine well down, nice soil, just pack the soil back around it, and then firm it in. And that's the first of my brassicas, that's my sprouts. and I use the same sprouts every year. And of course Maximus from certain seeds, King seeds, and I always get a first class crop. I had a bit of trouble with the caterpillars last year. Of course, with me being poorly, I didn't pay too much attention to the sprouts, and of course what had happened is a few butterflies had laid their eggs in, and all we had is a bit temporary netting over the top. But butterflies, if they want to get in, they'll get in. Of course, they're getting in underneath the net, and they laid their eggs, and of course we lost a lot more sprouts last year. But this year, I'm still looking for a net on the net, and I'm hoping to get that within the next year too. So we'll probably get all these planted out tomorrow, and hopefully by then the net will come. If not, I'll drip a little bit of the green net across the top, just to deter the birds for the time being, especially the pigeons from next door. Deter them, and then once my net comes, I'll make a new frame, and I'll cover the whole plot with a nice black bird netting, and hopefully that'll keep them and the butterflies off. But yeah, it's as I say, it's such an easy thing to do. Rhubarb's a great. It's a great plant. As I say, I get so many different uses out of it, as well as being a lovely fruit to eat and to bake with. It's fantastic for your plants. And there again, as I say, perfect root ball on them, just to the point of them being root bound in the cup. You feel that it's still soft, it's not over tight, it's just a nice, and of course lovely little sprout. And then don't forget your rhubarb leaf. If you take your rhubarb off in the afternoon and then put your leaves in the greenhouse and just sweat them down, and then come back a couple of hours later, you'll find that it just wrap around nice and easy. And there we are, once again, well down to the stem, just below the leaves. Pack that in, and I'll move them over them. So the rain will give them a good watering in the night. I'll not bother with that. And all I'll do tomorrow, I'll probably come round with a garlic spray and get them all a spray with garlic, and that'll stop anything from eating them until we get my net sorted out. But for the time being, I'm going to knock off, and hopefully if it dries out again tomorrow, we'll get the pot leaf started, and then the weekend we'll start a new video off, and we'll be on to melons, squashes and cucumbers. So if you don't mind, I'm going to knock the camera off tonight because the rain's getting a little bit heavy on me back here, and I can feel it. So I'll see you all again on the plot tomorrow, okay? Afternoon everybody. Right, trying to get up here now before the rain comes. Been forecast again for another couple of showers. It's been hit and missy here in the northeast the last few days. 1 or 2 showers, of course. We don't mind having a few showers. We've had no rain for weeks up here, but the last couple of days we've had quite a few heavy showers. Now, what me and Roger finished off in the previous video were planting the sprouts. We managed to get a couple rows of sprouts in, a row of cabbage, and all that's left to go in there is a row of kale along the front. So that's that bed finished. All I'm waiting for now is a nice bit of net to come, so I can get the whole bed covered over, put some canes, some good stout sticks in, and drip a whole net right over the whole bed. Mainly keep the pigeons out. We've got quite a few pigeon lads up here. But not only that, I want to keep them butterflies out. It's a small enough net, hopefully it'll keep the butterflies out, and that's the ones that do the damage. Once they lay their eggs on your brassicas, that's it, they're away. Caterpillars galore. And then once again, that's where the rhubarb comes in handy. I know I've been talking a lot of rhubarb the last couple of days. Well, I hope it's not rhubarb. I use it for multiple uses, and what I did last night when I come up, I made a spray up. I did have a piece lying around. I made a rhubarb spray up, and I sprayed all my chrysanths. Now they're all potted up. The dahlias are in the second pot, so I'm not going to plant them out just yet because I think they're just just starting to pick itself up now. After I've given them a good potting up, and I've had a good soaking. So that's the first class. I normally don't plant mine out until the first week in June anyway, up in north here. And to me that's a beautiful, and that's Janelle Amy. That's an absolute fantastic corker of a plant. As I say, I might nip a couple of the tops out next week and take a few more cuttings off them, and that'll give us the opportunity to to show you how to make a pot tuber throughout the year. I'll put them to one side. As I say, is one of my main priorities for the next video is getting the cucumbers and squashes planted out. Now there's a perfect example, and his pottle absolutely spot on, full of roots, so they can go till the weekend, and hopefully by the weekend I'll have the rest of my other potting off finished and we can start planting these out. These are excuse me, these are pumpkins, so the pumpkins can go out. That's them there. And what I have here, I've got the crystal lemon cucumber, absolutely fantastic, lovely looking plants, and they're great for you. If you want something different, they're round, yellow, just like a little lemon, and they're absolutely fantastic, lovely tasting, and apart from that, they're easy to grow. As I've said to everybody, it's all about watering with these. The whole family's exactly the same. If you overwater them round the neck, you'll lose them. Try and water from down below, but when I start the video off at the weekend, I'll show you how I plant mine. And what you can do, if you're not confident with watering, you can put them in a little heap. Old gardeners done it years ago. They put little mounds of horse manure, and they sat a squash, a cucumber, whatever it is, on the mound. So if you did water too much, a lot of it would run off, and that's the idea of that. But I will do that in the next video. Today what I've come up to do, make myself small room, is my peppers, and I'm well chuffed with them. And this is a pepper piquila. I've got some long jaw chilies, and I've got the yellow bell. I've got the long jaw chilies from Dean Hood. So I'm definitely going to make a start today. I was wanting to plant them out in me ring culture pots, but I'll leave that until the next video, and that's going to be the weekend and towards next week. But I don't want to leave these any longer in that pot, so I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to go the next step up and just pop them up in the air. Once again, it's my own mixture that I use for 90% of me potting off, and there again, absolutely fantastic, wonderful plant. Just at the bottom of the plant, just at the bottom of the pot with the roots. That's where I like them. And you can go and sit into there now. Press them in. A little bit of fresh compost around him. I'll sit him on a tray in the greenhouse, give him a good watering, and he'll quite comfortably sit there for another week until I'm ready to start putting them in the ring culture pots. Now, I will explain the ring culture in the next video. I used to use it years ago for my tomatoes, but once I started coming a bit of a variety, notoriety, we couldn't get a hold of it, so I had to stop using ring culture. I used to swear by it, but I'll explain that in the next video to that. As I say, this afternoon I want to get these peppers finished off, get them watered, get them up the top of 100-foot greenhouse where it's nice and cool, and hopefully I'll get them in the next video, get them all planted up. Over here we've got more crystal lemon. I've got some giant marrows that I'll need to pot up. They've just been put in a couple of weeks ago, and of course one of my old favourites, the cucumber and the diva, and they're all doing absolutely fantastic. Once again, they're all watered from down below. Nothing gets watered up my height with these. Tomatoes are romped away I put in a couple of weeks ago. That's a gardener's delight. If I can just move this over a little bit without disturbing it too much, and you'll be able to see the gardener's delight there. They've absolutely romped away. I'm well pleased with that. I love these plants. You do get quite a few suckers growing off the sides of these. I've noticed that. But if you keep them well cut back, and then just time to a centre cane, I've got 14 plants in there all told, and they're an absolutely fantastic plant for a nice cherry bush. But that's anyway, for the time being, I'm going to just shut this down, and we're going to go up the top of the greenhouse, and I'm going to get cracking on the leeks. That's the pot leeks, okay? Right, well, here we are, after running around ragged again, trying to find some gear. What I will have to do is in my future videos get all the gear I need. Put it on side instead of having to run and doing greenhouses. I just found another chrysanth sitting in the back bed there. This is a pink, so I'm going to have to do a bit more potting up tomorrow with the chrysanths. But as I say, all the chrysanths are outside there now. I've given them a good spray of rhubarb juice. They've had a good drinking with the rain the other day. I've given them a little bit of Epsom salts in the water. Give them a good drink of that, so they're fine. They're tied up there now, and I can just let them go for a week or two. When they really start drying out, they're not getting another water again till then. As I say, they're outside now, so they're getting a bit of rain on them. That's all they need from me. What Roger's done with the bottom bed, and once again he's prepared all the bed for us, and I went along with my little dibber. I'll show you that when we get outside. But the bed's prepared, put a line out, and what we'll do, we'll put 3 rows of leeks in that one bed. Now I do try to use different varieties of leek each year and to see which ones are the best, because up north here we do suffer a lot with rust, cold, damp, wet conditions. We get a lot of rust in the plants, so I like to use plants that are supposedly going to be a bit rust resistant, but if they're not, you know, nothing to worry about. Try something different next year. And of course the ones I've tried this year are the Blue Autumn Neptune king seeds. Absolutely marvellous. And if you've been following me over the last couple of months, then that's what your leeks should look like now. I mean, I know people would have been saying that's far too big a pot to put a few leek seeds in. Look at them, that's perfect. End of May now, they're pencil thick, and I'm going to tip this pot out. It'll be absolutely fantastic. But I'll show you exactly the way we like to do it. And we don't pot what leeks off individual. We just like keeping the one pot. You'll find it a little bit difficult to open it up, but if you just persevere, give it a couple of squeezes, and it should work its way out. That's the pot we use, and there again, that's what you get. Absolute first class, nice big pot of roots, absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to absolutely dismantle this pot now. I'm going to put it over that bed and knock all the compost off it. Just takes a couple of little thumps with the hand, and the compost should come away really easy. Right, well pleased with that. That's the compost off. There's the leeks there. Just hold them all in one hand, get them all nice and, when they come out of the pots, it may be at different levels, so get them all the same, all the roots together, so you're not damaging some of them. There you are, that's perfect. That. Now you've got your roots, you've got your leeks, nicely handed in one hand, a bowl of water, tub of water, anything you want. And there we have it, absolutely perfect. Over the moon with them. And of course, yes, you might know, I'm at it again, chopping, cutting, disfiguring, always doing it. But this will save you hours and hours of work, believe you me, if you follow this little tip. Get your leaves, get your leeks all the same size, nicely held together, and a nice pair of scissors, and just chop right across the bottom and around, and that's leaving. That should be leaving about an inch of root, there we are, on each leek. When you start pulling these leeks apart, you'll find a couple of little tiny midges in amongst them. What I like to do, I like to take all the big ones out first. It's quite an easy job to separate them, because all the cell's been taken off them now. A good washing, and that's what you'll get. Good handful of leeks like that, perfect. Now what you can do, if you're in a mind, if you're like me, and if you're pestered by pigeons and that, you can turn your leeks around, go up to the top, and cut them off there with the scissors, exactly the same way as what you've done with the roots. Cut them off there, and you'll find when you pop these into the holes, that the pigeons answer the bother about them. I've done it the first couple of years, but then I found just leave them alone, and usually the birds will pull them up. But if you're up the garden like we are every day, it's easy enough job to go around and just push them down and get them into their holes. Right, so that's part one. As I say, that's the Blue Neptune. I'll be putting them in the first row, and these are my all-time favourites. I grow these every year. I'll be putting 2 rows of these in, because they are never missing in my garden. And of course, it's the old favourite, the Musselburgh. And I like to put the Musselburgh in 2 litre long rose pots, because they are a really good strong grower. As you can see, they've really filled the pot out with fruit. Absolutely fantastic. Now I'll treat them exactly the same, and look at them, they're absolutely beautiful. And that's a Musselburgh leek. Now these have been growing since late January. You can go back on my videos, beginning of January, late January, early February when we sowed them, and absolutely spot on, lovely leeks. Just a little bit of cleaning up to do, a few little dead leaves amongst them, but I'll do exactly the same with these as I've done with them. I'm not going to plant these today, these are going to get done tomorrow, so I'm going to pop that back in the pot, and all that water, there's a drop of water on there, and it'll stop there till tomorrow. But what I am going to do is to get outside and put this first row of Blue Neptune in. Okay, so we'll pop outside. Right, well, now that a little bit of rain's went off, I'm trying to get myself back outside again. Right, so as I say, we're getting the leeks all ready, and really all you need for this, once you get your trench ready, is just an old spade, cut off, old wooden spade handle, and what I did with this, I left it 8 inches. If you put 8 inches on your handle, your soil's soft, 8 inches, that's giving at least 6-inch hole. Just wiggle it around, with the soil be nice and damp, you'll get a nice deep hole. And what I'll do, once you pop your leek in, it'll give you a nice 6 inches of white on your leek. Often see people digging them up and you've already got 3 or 4 inches of white on the leek. This way, it gives you a nice long white chunk. And as I mentioned before, cutting off the roots, leave it about 1 inch, and it's so easy just to pop them into the hole, push it right to the bottom. Them roots will hit the bottom, what roots on there, and they'll quite readily make more root again, so it's not doing any damage whatsoever to the plant. It's an easy job just to go along, pop them in. I know they're sticking out the hole a few inches, but if you get any soil falling in, just put the dibber back in, push your leek well in. Such an easy job to do. As I say, you can do a full row here, and go along, get a nice thick penciled, thick leeks. If you leave them about 4 inches, 5 inches apart, just pop them in. You don't even have to cover them over, just leave the holes open, because if the birds do pull them out, you can go along the next morning and just put them back in the holes again. As I say, I've done the row of blues, now doing the row and absolutely fantastic. Now I feel to get a good crop. See, we're on the row, pop them in. If you come back the next morning, find that the birds have pulled a few of the roots up, and it's easy enough just to pop them back in. What I like to do now is just take a can of water, the watering can, you'll have one lying around somewhere, and just water along the rows, and what little bit of soil that does go down with the water, they'll just wrap around the roots and anchor them down to the holes, and they'll gallop away. I've got one more row to put in here, so that's me 3 rows of pot leeks in. It's a job you can get done within half an hour. Absolutely fantastic, nice and easy. So just follow these through. These few easy steps, and you'll get some cracking leeks come December and January, and that's when we like ours, in the cold weather. Nice and cold, there's nothing better than a leek soup to go home to. That's my top tips for the leeks. As I say, give them a good watering in with a watering can, and leave them. Forget about them, don't even bother filling the holes in. Once you start weeding, and you work your way along with the hoe, in a couple of weeks' time, they'll just naturally fill up, and you'll have a perfect leek ready for growing on. So as I say, I've got one more row to go. I'll get that row finished tonight, and then hopefully we'll get this video online. So once again, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've given you a few tips for getting on with. As I say, our cabbages are out, all the sprouts are out. Well, leeks are out now. I'm going to start the cucumbers, the melons and the squashes in the next video, and of course I've got the 3 Sisters challenge. So I think nearly all my stuff's ready. All I've got to do now is 3 dig rows of potatoes up, early potatoes, and my back's not looking forward to that. No doubt Roger gives a good hand in the lower tunnel. But I'll start all that from the new video. So for the time being, thanks for sharing, thanks for subscribing, and just pass the message around if you need help in the plot. get on our site. Okay, and once again, thanks to all the new subscribers. There's quite a few coming on. So if you've got any comments to make them down below. Or if not, if you want to get on our Facebook channel, just come over to Jeff Foreman in the Pot, and we're on there most nights. Okay, so I'm going to knock this video off, and hopefully I've given you some good tips to get on with your leeks. And we'll see you all again next week when we start on these melons and of course the Three Sisters Challenge. Okay, see you again soon.